first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. It's actually the first time for me in this spot with this fantastic view in the background. Stunning. It's really good to be back home on home soil with the players. We haven't been together for 3 months. It's been the longest break for me with the team since I started as a national team coach. So I've been waiting for the day when I can get on the park to train with the team again. It is a challenge, as you know. Normal FIFA window will play on a Saturday, so we have 5 days lead-in, and when we come to the home soil, you know, we miss a little bit on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We spoke about that before. You know, travel and jet lag and all these things. We have 2 to 3 training sessions in a normal FIFA window. This first game is now on a Thursday. We had players arriving yesterday that was not even allowed to train with contact today because of safety reason, and you know, with all the things going on with the injuries in the women's game and travel and all that, we really need to listen to my SZE team and protect the players as well. Like the Spanish coach said, it's all about preparation for the World Cup, so we need to protect the players as well. So really what we've had is 1.5 training sessions to prepare for this game, and it's being away from each other for 3 months to package everything in 1.5 training sessions when they have different tactics, different formation and everything. That's always a challenge. The second challenge I have, and I said this before in the last camp, when some of the players played good, I said it's not because of me and our training environment, it's because of what they do in club. Caitlin Ford, for example, you know, it's what she's done in Arsenal that put her in good form. Now a lot of players are coming in with very limited minutes, which is a challenge. I have about 7 players in this roster with 0 competition minutes in 3 months since last camp. I have about 8 players that have played less than 5 games in 3 months. And then I have another third, about 10 to 11 players that have played approximately 10 to 12 games. So this is a challenge, it is. And that means I need to plan a little bit differently than I normally do going into a tournament like this, because we want to perform as good as we can. We want to have continuity and consistency in the lineup, but also we need to be mindful of minutes for players. So that's a little bit of a different preparation than normally in the FIFA window.
Tony, where does the balance, as the World Cup gets closer, the World Cup being all about results, where does the balance lie for this tournament between performance and results?
I think the answer to that question is, first of all, it's a great question, because we spoke about that yesterday with the team. We spent 2 years now talking about, you know, I always say one day better, you know, one training better, one game better. This is not training tournament football. You know, it's not just training to prepare for the World Cup in the sense of details, individual players, cohesion and such. It's training tournament football, meaning how do we prepare? Like the game plan meeting today was, you know, how do we win against Czech Republic in an opening game in a group stage, which is going to replicate what we're going to talk about when we play Ireland. So everything we do now is like a World Cup rehearsal. It doesn't mean the focus is only on winning in that sense, but we need to train tournament format. How we close that game out and quickly check into something completely different tactically against Spain, and then the same thing. So it is tournament focus for sure.
So you take 3 1-0s, park the bus.
Say that again?
So you take 3 1-0 wins after parking the bus.
Well, I said it before, I think tactical flexibility is key for us in game management. So depending on the score, but we also talked about, you know, if you want to win a group stage, you need to understand how you win a group. You know, first is points obviously, but then it's goal differential before head-to-head. So we need to train that as well. What does that mean? If you're leading 2-0 in an opening game, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize to keep that 2-0, or do you prioritize to go for another couple of goals? Because maybe in the last game, a tie takes you through as a winner for goal differential, and that's training tournament mode and get the understanding.
How far are you going with the dress rehearsal theory? Are you going to be practicing your pre-World Cup opening speeches before the Czechia game and stuff like this? Or?
Maybe parts of it, but you know, if you do a speech twice, it might not have the same effect. So, but in terms of what we talk about now, we've said all the things we say now we're probably going to repeat, but hopefully do it better. I probably do my speech better. The pre-training session is better. The analysis of the opponent is better. The execution of training is better. But we need to prep now the way we're going to play in the World Cup.
How will you go about managing those players though with the limited game time and balancing with the wins that you want to see?
It is a challenge, I admit that, because it's also about player health and player safety. I need to listen to my experts around me. But at the same time, we said all the way back from September that cohesion and consistency in lineup to get that is important. And also some of the players that don't get minutes in club needs the minute in here, because otherwise they won't be prepared for the World Cup. So it's easy to say, yes, play the one that had played a lot of minutes. Well, maybe it's actually opposite, that some of the ones that hasn't gotten minutes need them in here to help prepare for the World Cup. So it's that balance.
Are you begging those clubs to give them some minutes? I mean, I'm thinking about Haley Rasso and
Say that again. Am I
begging the clubs to give them some minutes?
No, I've been on that side as well. I've been a club coach, and I have the biggest respect for being a club coach. And what we have done though over these 2 years, that we have invest a lot in communication and connection with the clubs. So both at coaching level, we've done it at analyst level, sharing video. We've done it on sports science level when it comes to individual programs. Because at the end of the day, we have one thing in common with the clubs. We want the players to be fit and available and informed. And then we have to respect each other's situation when they are, we are lending the players from clubs. That's national team environment.
I mean, some of those players are some of our best players that aren't getting those minutes. Is that a worry for you going into this World Cup? Because if this continues the next 5 months.
Yeah, I have to admit, I said that before. I was very glad when they had minutes and was in form, and when they're not, and the players are frustrated about it as well. But that's not to criticize the clubs. It's just a reality for any national team coach. What they do in clubs is going to 85 to 90% of all the development happens in clubs, and then we'll lend them into national team and try to do the best what we can and what we got.
So Tony, in a tournament, you might target one or two of the teams or call them a must-win game. Is this Czechia game? Is that one of the must-win ones? If you were playing them in the World Cup, you kind of throw everything you have at them and make sure you get off to a good start.
I'd say every opening game in a tournament is important because it kind of sets the tone for the tournament. So in that sense, you can say it's a must game. But at the flip side of that, we saw Argentina losing the opening game in the World Cup, and they go win the whole tournament. So it's how you respond to the first result that is also important. But right now, the only focus is about the Arlingen game and the open game. So we handle this game against Czech Republic the same way as if it was Ireland.
Are you feeling the pressure?
Oh, sorry, Isabel, you can go ahead.
Sorry. Are you feeling the pressure after the last 4 wins and everyone kind of was cheering for Matildas, and now it's a restart and it's a World Cup year, that there is that extra pressure that you guys kind of have to win this tournament?
I actually feel the support and the belief. That's what I feel. You see a lot of attention, a lot of interest, a lot of connection to the Matildas now, and you can start feeling the World Cup vibe. And I think this is going to be a taste of it. And hopefully we can have some really, really good performances, so we also can get a taste of what kind of football we can perform in the World Cup. So I'd rather feel the belief.
Final 3 questions.
Just like every window you get Sam back, she comes in pretty good form. How's she looking for this first game? Is she in the category where she might need a rest, or is she ready to go from the start?
If you ask Sam, she never needs rest. She wants to play every single minute of every game. She loves the game so much that she always wants to play. She's definitely in good form. Just looking at her, not just her goals, but how she's been playing of late. You could see that she had a slow start of the season, if you remember. When she had that longer break, you should see that she had a slow start of the season, which didn't worry us and her, because we know that was a part of a bigger plan. And then she had played her way into form, and she's coming into this camp with a fantastic form, and I hope she can keep showing that for the national team as well.
Is there anything you can do about the player minutes? I mean, it's too late for changing clubs and that kind of thing. So what can you do?
The only thing you can do as a national team coach is that you show that you believe in players, you're in dialogue with the players, you care about the individual development. But at the end of the day, the players, when they're in club land, we need to respect and know that it's the clubs and the players that work. So sometimes also as a national team coach, you need to take a step back in between camps and understand, okay, now they're in that environment, because if you're on them every week, it's also, you know what I mean, like it's they're there, but they know we have a dialogue, they know we watch every game. If they need feedback and communication, they know we're there for them, but it's the clubs that work with them. And I have to say as well, some of the clubs have done a phenomenal job with some of our players, and some of our players are in phenomenal training environments, and even if they don't get the game time, we know that the training environment is fantastic for them.
Final to George.
Tony, can you just say, is there anyone who you're categorically ruling out because of the travel and that kind of thing, who definitely won't play tomorrow night?
I can't reveal names for the tactics, but I do have 3 players that the SSM team have ruled out and say because of player safety, these 3 players are not available. So I have 3 players that can't play tomorrow.
Would they have started otherwise?
Well, I can't reveal that either.
And
Hey, it's going to be a hunt for these names, see who wins the race, huh?
Just quickly, in terms of the player minutes, is the natural progression that if they don't get those minutes, their place maybe, they may slip down the pecking order on the actual World Cup?
Well, it's different for every individual player, and it's too soon to say now. And I don't want to put overemphasize on this either, to put stress on the players. It's just what it is. Everyone knows that if players get a lot of minutes in top clubs, in top leagues, that helps the national team. If they get less minutes or playing lesser ranked leagues or less good clubs, it's going to influence their own development. And all we do is try to help the players to maximize their potential and reach their full potential. And then the selection is not until June, and now it's way too soon to talk about that.